Hey, it's me, Marquelworld. It is hot up in here tonight. Little late, I apologize. It is 88 degrees, so I am hot up in here. But let's talk about it. TNA. Let me. This is fitting. I was going to change the thumbnail. I have it on the actual thumbnail, but I was going to change the background. But at this point, this is what it's given. So TNA is about to become WWE at some point. And again, we have the AEW situation where Carlos recently, the president of TNA, removed um, Moose from doing MLP. He removed Ricochet and Leon Slater, that match, by removing Leon Slater. He removed Nick Nemeth versus MJF. He removed Nick Nemeth. So now, due to partners and conflict, which we all know, TNA partners WWE, they don't want TNA wrestlers to work with AEW wrestlers. So they're about to be WWE clearly. So let's talk about NXT 2.0 because this is what it's giving at this point. Because that's all TNA does is follow WWE commands, and good for WWE. I mean, if they were able to get a slave in 2026, good for them. But, oh, let's see. Anthony, how are you? It is hot. I would be better if it was cool. I got the fan on. Yes, I got the fan on. You know, I live in an apartment, so I'm on the upper floor, so you know the heat rises. Even though it's so bipolar, in the morning it's very cold here in Michigan, but then like afternoon it gets hot. But hope all is well. I know you're on year 2021, correct? But let's talk about TNA. What impressed me is, I don't know, I really don't care at this point about TNA, and I've been watching since 2008. Again, Taylor Wilde, The Beautiful People, LAX, Something Side. Remember him with the Sunset Flip? He was on the TNA game. So again, Shark Boy, that's the TNA I know. Spike TV, I follow them with the Axis shit. Kind of did like that. The Tessa Blanchard era, the Rascals. Did like some new additions. This era, AMC, I'm not liking the WWE TNA era. So again, I'm not really impressed. But let's talk about it. Hope everyone is well. Please like and follow. I post at least 3 times a week. And I go live at least twice. How are you guys, YouTube? How are you guys? It is Thursday and we are talking about TNA Impact. Again, I do wish them the best. I really do, but I really don't really want to support right now. Oh, but I can't really support anyways because it's not like they're coming to my city. They just put the schedule for the dates. And they're not coming to Michigan. They're coming to Chicago. They're coming to Ohio, but not Michigan. So I can't even support if I wanted to, honey. But let's talk about it. We did have Dara Ray and Santina Morel. Remember Dara, who is Sonya Deville, is someone that did a short signing. What I mean by that, her contract is not that long. So that being said, I don't really know with her character if I really want to get invested because we all know she admitted on the interview that it was a 6-month contract. So again, I don't know if I want to really get invested in her character knowing that she's not going to be there that long, if that makes sense. I love her and I love her character and I'm happy for her that she got a gig. If she would have said that she was, you know, a year, maybe I would have been a little bit more invested in her character. But if I know that she only has 6 months and WWE likes what they see with her and they want to rehire her, I really don't need to be interested in her character. But if she resigns for another 6 months, I guess I'll be a little interested then, knowing that she's staying for another couple of months. But that's the thing with TNA, these short-term contracts, so I can't be mad at her. She's doing what fits. She may get an opportunity AEW or WWE. So again, these short-term contracts give these wrestlers opportunities to go elsewhere, which is great. You want to have options, right? But again, I don't have no highlights. By the way, remember I usually do moments before I look at the results. Again, maybe she's my favorite. I do like Elena Black, so never mind. I do like her a lot. Hopefully she can get a TNA Knockouts Championship reign. That was only the person from NXT that I actually wanted to see win that Knockouts Championship. I did want to see her win it when she was in NXT. Kind of because Cora Jade, back in the day, what she was going by, she was really the lackey of her and Roxanne as the duo, the best friends that were both coming up together. So I always wanted her to get her own opportunity, even if that was her holding the TNA Knockouts Championship. But again, she got released, so again, I still want her to win the title, not just because she's released, because I already wanted her to win it prior to her getting released. But Roxanne, I guess vaguely we can mention things have turned for her, right? She was that it girl in NXT having all these long matches. Now she's getting injured, unfortunately. Part of this stable, which I like, that introduced her to the main roster, but she's not really wrestling as long as she was before. She's still doing performances and fighting. I'm not saying she's not doing that, but she's not really that featured like she was in NXT. Really didn't like that bump with Stephanie, how she shoved the two ladies into each other. That was very brutal. Just saying. But let's continue. Again, I get off track, especially if I'm tired. So I'm a little bit tired. I did have a dinner with some people from church. It was nice, so I did like that. And then I, took a walk and worked out a little bit. I do it 10,000 steps a day. So again, doing something right after work and trying to do your exercise and doing other shit, becomes a lot. But let's continue. Back to Santino Morel. I think you should go into the Hall of Fame with TNA. I'm not sure if he is part of the TNA Hall of Fame. Oh, girl, it's hot. Lord Jesus. But, sorry, it is hot, boo. I can't do the heat, boo. That's why I'm not in Florida. It is nice. You guys have the attractions such as Universal Studios. I mean, if I had that in Michigan, I would love it. You guys have... Do you guys have Disney? I do know you guys have a water park as well. I don't recall. I know my brothers and my dad lived there. It was a water park. I think it closed by now. It was in Orlando. But again, I can't do the heat. Even like with Florida and all the attractions they have, the heat. If it was 60, 70, I can do that. But 90, 85, lizards on the ground, But this, even in Michigan, I can't do the heat. This is too much. But let's get to it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to get the results back. It was kind of in the background, to be honest with you, because again, I'm not feeling what Carlos did. Again, this is just showing that they have a backbone when it's against other companies, but when it's WWE, they're willing to give all their titles to them and kiss their ass. So, yeah, I'm not really happy with them. I did tweet and say what I had to say underneath their tweet, because, I was like, okay, this is some bullshit. What about the fans that were excited for these matches? Now you're pulling them. Allegedly, they're saying that Carlos is mad that TNA did Collision last Thursday, and he's mad that it interfered with his ratings, and he's using this as an excuse. So again, it may not even have anything to do with WWE, but they're also saying that WWE, their partner, kind of doesn't want AEW and them working together, especially if TNA talent loses. Which again, if that is true, what WWE said about the TNA talent losing, and they don't want them to lose to AEW talent, I guess it's actually showing they care about TNA to an extent. But again, they are using them for what they can get out of them, which again, that's WWE. Grew up watching them, they're not going to change. But Jada Stone defeated Dana Luna. This Stone girl, I do like her. She's funky. I'll give her that. She's funky. She's young. She has charisma. I like her. I mean, she's getting pushed very fast. I have to admit that. Let's be real. Let's not just kid ourselves and act like she's not getting pushed. But yes, she is getting pushed. Do I think that she'll be TNA Knockouts champion soon? No. Do I think she will shine and maybe be the MVP of the year? Yeah. So, you know, that's nothing bad. She's a newbie to the roster. I do like her a lot. Her becoming TNA Knockouts champion, I could see it soon. Dana Luna, we don't really need to speak about it now, do we? But let's move on. And hold on, wait a minute. How far back is this shit taped? Because if she was granted her release, how far back was this shit? Okay. I don't know. Is this like 2 weeks ahead? I mean, if this is 2 weeks ahead, they need to be ashamed themselves. And no wonder people are watching, because I do know they be having spoilers sometimes, which I really think they need to invest in, what you call it? Sorry, you know me, I gotta edit once I get on here. But I do think they need to invest more into live camera crews, permits. I don't know what it is to run a live show. I don't know why. I mean, if they can film the show, okay, maybe costs. Now that I thought about it, you know, you traveling to these cities every week, it does cost for travel, and the wrestlers, especially if they're not getting paid that much. That's why a lot of the fans are mad about what Carlos did. By the way, I never said why people are mad. They're mad because the wrestlers like Leon, Nick, and Moose are losing a payday because of this. And TNA doesn't really pay that talent like WWE and AEW. So they're independent. And this goes back to my days in college. I wrote a college essay about how wrestlers should have a union because they're independent contractors, but then you have shit like this where they're independent contractors, but you can't do this. And the thing about that is they don't get benefits such as health insurance, 401k, you know, they're putting their asses on the line, and these companies say that they love them, but they're not even giving them the benefits such as 401k. Maybe now they're not giving them a pension, they're not giving them insurance because, again, they're independent. And sorry, I know you're like, okay, this is supposed to be about TNA and the reviews. But again, as a fan, you do have to talk about the real sometimes, and that is the real. These independent contractors are getting screwed over because they're supposed to be independent. Leon should say, you know what, I still want to have my match with Ricochet. Fuck you. You ain't paying my health insurance. But at the same time, TNA will be like, okay, well, we told you we didn't want it. You're fired. So again, are they independent if they have a lot to say? Yeah, really, they're not. But, just a way to save a couple dollars. Let's move on to the next subject. And what I mean, a couple dollars, if you don't have to pay someone's health insurance, you saving a couple dollars. Frankie Kazarian defeats BDE. I really don't know about him. Let's put him on the big screen. And you know what? I'm not even going to talk about him. Because I don't even know his YouTube. So I need to watch his YouTube. I feel like if I watch his YouTube and I start to understand why he got signed, why he got a fan base, maybe I can relate to him a little bit more as a wrestler. Because I can't be mad at somebody that's doing shit on YouTube and getting an opportunity to live their dreams. But I don't know about his character. Him wrestling is fine. I can see he's a little excited, so I'm excited for him sometimes, but I just don't get the character. Again, I think he's very popular on YouTube, so since I don't know that about him, that's why it's not sticking with me. But let's put him on the big screen. Let's take advantage of this. Shout, it's hot. By the way, please like and follow. I post at least 3 times a week. Child, it is hot, honey. What's this boy's name? Oh, BDE. I'm sorry. What? Okay, I'm about to say, I know I saved a picture of him. So he's okay. He's okay. Reminds me of me. He's not really that much in weight. I'm 136. I don't know how much he weighs, but again, I'm not mad at it. I'm happy. You know, they called me asking me to ring announce. You don't think I'm going to be up there? So if they call him to wrestle, you better take that opportunity. So I ain't mad at it. But it's more of the celebrities I'm mad at. Even though you can't really get mad at them because that's WWE doing that. But he does look fine. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Again, you can see a lot of passion, which I do like, and he's very excited. Frankie winning, I don't know, as a TNA original, is this something we like to see? Just asking, is this something we like to see? I mean, has TNA, no offense, surpassed Frankie? I mean, to me, I think maybe a repackage needs to be done. Again, he's been in TNA for how long now? So it's kind of the same old, but we'll see. BDE, I'm hoping maybe international champion. I had to think real fast. What could he do? International champion by the end of next year. Frankie, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want him to be part of TNA anymore, because that's very mean, and just because he's been there for a very, very long time doesn't mean that he needs to go. You can always have people that start their career in TNA or have their big break in TNA and never go to WWE and AEW and finish their career in TNA. Just like you have people in WWE that start in WWE, like a John Cena, and ends their career in WWE, kind of like him. Who is in TNA for so long and maybe ends his career in TNA. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think maybe they need to change his character, because I do like him. I don't know what's missing. He still looks in great shape. How old is he at this point? I would say maybe 40. Oh, he's 48. Okay. So he's about to be 50 soon. But hey, wrestlers are wrestling in their mid-50s. We're seeing 55. So I think the norm to retire these days is probably 60. I'm just saying, because people are doing it in their 50s now. So I think the retirement that people actually sit down and retire is now in their 60s. So if that's the case, he still has at least another decade if he wants to do it till 58. So this could be his opportunity to have a WWE run with this partnership. So selfishly, if that's what he wants to do, Not selfishly, but if that's what he wants to do, I guess as a fan, I would be happy for him. Again, he is associated with TNA. He could be a TNA Hall of Famer, even if he does leave for WWE. But still, if he finishes his career in TNA, nothing wrong with that. He could be a TNA Hall of Famer. But let's go on to Alana Black versus Myla Grace. I like both ladies, to be honest with you. I actually like Myla Grace. She reminds me of a funky, cute Alexa Bliss. Do like her. She's very cute. Very cute. I do like her. With Ariana Grande, she's just, I don't know, something about her. She's very pretty. Like, she has a unique look. I can't.
What would you like to do?
Oh, child, that done scare the hell out of me. Alexa, stop. Thank you. Child, I'll be forgetting. I can't say that girl's name no more. Because I'll be forgetting with these new devices. If I say Mrs. Bliss' first name, they'll come. Child, it's 11:50 at night. I don't have time to be scared. It is not Halloween, boo. That was like, wait a minute now, who talking? But back to this. She kind of looks like Miss Bliss a little bit. She kind of looks like Harley Quinn. She kind of looks like Ariana Grande. Then she kind of looks like a newbie who we haven't really seen before. That looks like someone, but looks kind of different. So she has a unique look. I do like her. Let's put her on the big screen. Elena Black, I just told you I wanted her to win the TNA Knockouts Championship when she was in NXT. So I really don't need to explain how I feel about her. I already did that. That would be redundant. But, very pretty. I do like her. What's up with these WEBP formats? What is up with that, YouTube? Is this like the norm? I do like that. Can I get a JPG? Okay, this is a web. Okay, this is cute. Can we get something? A PNG web? Okay, let me see if I can post this kind of picture, because that's all I'm getting. What's her name again? I love how I said I like her, and I'm like, what's her name? Oh, okay, I can do these little web things. Okay, I guess web for the website, so I guess I can. So, she's very cute, isn't she? I feel like she should be the next Knockouts champion if Miss Elena Black does not become champion. I do like her. She has a very unique look. I could see very heelish. I mean, they lost Killer Kelly, who was a very unique character. I mean, she was a little bit different than Miss Rosemary, because I know a lot of people may compare. I know her and Masha were tag partners, so she had a different vibe. But again, she could go like darker, evil. Maybe she can join the Rightness. Rightness, isn't that their name? They're kind of like these two guys that kind of have that creepy gimmick. Maybe she can be the female character to that, and they can have a faction in TNA with male and female. Again, she could always have someone join her, and they can kind of have like a faction with 2 girls and 2 men. But again, right now they could do 2 men and 1 girl, and she could be joining that faction. So again, I could see her being heel and maybe using them, the Righteousness, to win her Knockouts Championship, and she becomes evil, very desperate, a new dark side of her, a new storyline for the Righteousness, and them having a new member to the team. So again, TNA, even though I don't like what Carlos did, don't like that they're like basically WWE's lapdog, still have hope for them. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'll continue to watch. I'm not going to watch very hard. Again, this was like background after I walked. This was background while I folded. So this wasn't really something I was sitting and paying attention to or posting about really, because I actually started watching late, if we're being honest. still gave them a view the second hour. Let's just say that. Because I don't want them to fail, but I'm also disappointed. But Abyss returns to the ended realm. I guess this is kind of like the WWE crossover because I like Rosemary. I remember 2 weeks ago or last week, she said her brother needed her help and she did it, and I guess he owed her. Or maybe she wanted his help, I think. So she had to like do something to him, and therefore now I guess he took her to the realm. I don't know. Myra Say being involved. I don't know what's going to go on with her. I'm still confused. I don't know if she's going to be... Because they're like pairing her with two different storylines. They're pairing her sometimes with the Hardys, doing the moonsault, a tribute to Lita, wearing her gear, kind of similar to it. But then you have her with Trey Miguel. No. Who was she with? She was with someone. Oh, she was facing... Who was she facing? She was facing some guy who she was feuding with. Damn it. I'll remember. But again, she was feuding with some man. Then now she's part of Rosemary's storyline. So she's like in a lot of storylines at once. So I don't know what their plan is. If they're trying to test a lot of waters to see what they want to do. Such as her feuding with men or her being involved with men in her storylines. Such as her being involved with the Hardys. I guess maybe you could say it's a one-off, but I thought they interacted backstage too prior, so again, she's involved with them some kind of way now. TNA Knockouts Champion, I can see. Maybe this year, the end of the year maybe. They need to make a mid-card championship for the women. What would they call it? You could say the TV championship was maybe the mid-card championship for the women for a while now, because wasn't Jordan Grace the TV champion? I don't know. Street champ? I don't know. The street champs. The streets like me. I'm the street champ. I don't know. Just something. Well, on my game, it's the Marvelous Championship for the women, and then the mid-card is the baddest champion, or the Marvelous champion, the main one. So again, I make simple names. But the Hardys defeat the Righteousness in a tables match. Again, they're, I guess, not relying on former WWE talent, but they are closing the shows a lot since they joined AMC. Again, this isn't the first time the Hardys closed TNA. Again, maybe they're hoping that more people watch since the Hardys are an established name. But again, this is kind of the norm at this point. I think I said maybe 2 reviews ago that it was the Hardys that closed. And now, again, they're closing this show. So, good for the Hardys that they can main event a national television professional wrestling promotion that's on TV. And they can still main event it still in their, 50s? That's amazing. And that's not even being funny. That's amazing. But, I don't know. Maybe sometimes we need to see different main events instead of these tag matches. Kind of reminds me of AEW and the money matches. Remember $100,000 every, or a 6-man $100,000 match, and they kind of stopped doing that. I kind of forgot about that. And a lot of people say I don't dog AEW, but for a while now, I was saying that shit was stupid. I was getting tired of these money matches. But I will say with this, the tag matches, it's not that they suck. It's not that. It's just tag matches closing the show is not really normal. So maybe this is just something not normal to me. So I'm just not used to it. The tag team division closing the show. Usually they're the mid show, or they're in the beginning, not usually the end. But I think WrestleMania 1 ended with the tag match, correct? So again, why did they go away from it then? But again, Taryn Terrell, she looked fine. She was shown. A lot of people are calling her old. Yes, I keep it real here, so I'm not sugarcoating shit. I'm like, this is funny when you have the Hardys on the show, but okay. You know, talk about her, but you have the Hardys on the show that are actually older than the girl, but okay. But I do like that she's back. I feel like she should be a heel. Again, I feel like she could be a heel. I guess she's more excited now that, you know, she's back. So this is her new character. Like, oh my God, I'm back. Yes. I paved the way for you girls. How dare you? I mean, I guess that's the storyline they're going with her. Again, she was never really a babyface when she left. She was still a heel. When we saw her at NWA, especially in Empower, when Gail Kim and Awesome Kong had that moment together where Awesome Kong said she's done, but Awesome Kong came to save Gail Kim from Taryn Terrell. Again, Awesome Kong said she's retiring at NWA Empower, which was ran by Mickie James. I think that was, 5 years ago at this point? Oh Lord, I'm a little scared to look that up. And that's the only NWA pay-per-view I bought. Still haven't bought a new one. So, okay, I bought it on Fight TV. I think it's still on there. Once you buy it, it's yours. August 28, 2021. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wow, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about to be 5 years. But TNA, not really excited. But I know they have a pay-per-view to sell, so I'm wishing them the best. Let's look real fast. Let's look at their schedule. Okay. Slammiversary is supposed to be like their WrestleMania that's coming, but we have TNA Rebellion tomorrow in Cleveland, Ohio. Then we have April 14th, 15, New York. Then we have 14, 15. Okay, they're like there for 2 days filming for multiple episodes. That makes sense. So then they're in California for 14 and 15. I think I remember that when I went. And I was like, girl, I don't have time to be at the pay-per-view for like 4.5 hours, it was fun. But then be back the next day for TNA Impact the taping. I'm like, I'm tired. But I think they do that with AEW too at some point with Ring of Honor. You have the AEW taping in the Ring of Honor, and then they also tape Collision the next day and have some dark matches too. And you be like, this is a 2-day thing. But you kind of get your money's worth if you think about it. Because they do be cheap tickets. But, California, May 14th to 15th, June 6th and 7th. Carolina, okay. June 28th, MA. July 1st, 2nd, NY. July 30th, 31, PA. 23rd, IL, Illinois, Canada. August 27th, 28th. 24th, 25, TX. What's that, Texas? FL, October 11th. October 14th, okay. October 14th. And 15th, to be determined. Maybe that's Detroit, Michigan. I don't know. Because I still don't see it. Canada. To be determined. December 10th and 11th. Maybe that's Michigan. Texas, December 17th, 18th. So maybe I have an opportunity if I want to support them, even though I'm a sucker for TNA, even though I'm disappointed in their new direction and how much WWE has on them. I still want to see them shine, maybe they can just get new management. Doesn't mean that the company needs to go down. Maybe they just need to get rid of their president, Carlos, who really doesn't know how to run this. But he's just an ass licker. But okay, so I have an opportunity the 14th, 15th, or maybe the 10th and 11th on December. So TNA, wishing them nothing but the best. Hopefully they do some live tapings, but I am done. I would give them a C grade. This TNA, I had a different vision. Let's be real. I thought that Myron Reed would run the X Division and be the champion. Yes, I thought he was going to run the X Division and be the champion. Trey Miguel, I want to see him win the heavyweight championship. He's the only Rascals still in TNA. We'll say this, with Carlos not wanting AEW and TNA stars working together, this means maybe the Rascals, they can't work in the indies anymore. Let's be real. If they go to IWR, I know that's the show they usually go to, and they want to do a fatal, four-way tag or a trios match with Trey Miguel being involved. Would Carlos approve that? I mean, Trey Miguel would be in a tough spot. So that's something else you got to think about. If we being real, because if they don't want that to happen where TNA and AEW stars don't work together, or I guess maybe if it's only they can't lose, but if they can't work together, it's a new thing that's being rumored and published. That's their new rule, that TNA and AEW wrestlers can't be on the same show. That's a lot of indie shows that TNA wrestlers can't be part of. Maybe it's the same match. Maybe they can still be in the same show, but the same match, they can't be involved. But again, all these indie promotions, they film shit. So maybe TNA doesn't want their wrestlers to be filmed with AEW wrestlers. Or maybe TNA doesn't want their wrestlers to be filmed in the same match with an AEW wrestler. That'll be different. But nevertheless, they would still stick to Trey Miguel if he wants to team with the Rascals. So a lot of people aren't talking about that. I noticed that. So that's like a double whammy. He got released from AEW, teaming up with them. Maybe the indies, we can do something and team up, once I get a little bit of peace from what happened. Let's take a couple months apart, and then once we get a little bit of peace with the situation, let's tag on the indies, reunite, and kill it on the indies in between our TNA AEW dates. You can't say that no more with this new policy. Maybe Carlos gonna say, you can't work with them, the Rascals. Nope. So again, maybe this is going to be a whole 2 years that they don't work together with Trey Miguel, where he's going to be the one that, with the contract and the free contractors, independent contractors, and the rules, he might be damned. It might be 2 years since he can team with his team again. So that's a little bit sad. A lot of people aren't talking about that. I do like the Rascals, so maybe that's why I'm talking about it, but a lot of people aren't mentioning that. But okay, let me stop. C rating. TNA, I hope they get it together. Rebellion, are we excited? Let me know. But this is Marquelworld. All things pro wrestling news and my life. I'm on X, Bluesky, TikTok, Marquelworld, Pro Wrestling Tea, TEA, like the tea we drink. A wrestling group I run. We gossip. I post. You guys can post as well. But again, YouTube, thank you for the support. This is Marquelworld. All things pro wrestling news in my life. I'll be live this weekend for a gossip session.